Yeah, we are recording this with your permission. So first, in the next segment of this informatics class, we will be talking about ports. Okay, now essentially we have to understand what ports are. See, ports are the connectors which serve as interface between the computer and its peripheral devices. Okay, so some of the common peripherals that require ports are mouse, keyboard, monitor, or the display unit, printer, speaker, pen drives, and so on. All of these require something that can connect them to the computer in order to enable flow of information to as well as from. In case of keyboard, you need a port to connect the keyboard to the computer so that you can fill in information. In terms of the printer, you need something to connect it. You need a port that can form an interface between these two systems so that the printer can produce an output. Okay, so those are the different kinds of, that is what the port is used for. It is essentially an interface or a point of connection between a device and its other peripherals. Okay, in fact, between the components of a device as well as the different peripherals. Okay, now computer port is a point of attachment. Okay, where the connecting cable of the peripheral can be plugged in and data can flow to and from. Okay, so now we will be looking at the various kinds of ports. Basically, there are two kinds of ports. One is the serial port and the other is the parallel port. Okay, now serial port is where peripherals can be connected using a serial protocol. And where there is transmission of data one bit at a time over a single communication line. Okay, now a parallel port is a sort of an interface where the communication between the computer and its peripheral device is in a parallel manner. That is, data is transferred in and out using more than one communication line or wire. For example, printer port. Okay, yeah. These are the basic kinds of ports that are there. Okay, now sometimes you may not have a particular port in a device, which means that there could be compatibility issues. See, this is what often happens. For example, in terms of projectors. Okay, the projectors that came about, till about 5 or 6 years ago, most of them mid-range projectors did not have an HDMI outlet. Understand? Did not have an HDMI cable. So, or output, I'm sorry, input. And what happened was that many of the newer computers, laptops, etc., had only an HDMI port. Okay, whereas the projectors had only the VGA port. Okay, I hope you've seen VGA ports are those blue color things. They look like slightly like this, and they've got a number of holes, and then you have to plug it in. Have you seen those?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Those are the ones. Okay, so many of the the new laptops have only the HDMI cable for high definition. Okay, so now what has happened is that this has created a great deal of problems of compatibility, and it requires a lot of expense to replace the projector also. So what people began doing is they began devising connectors. So on one side, this HDMI, this connector will have an HDMI outlet, and on the other hand, it will have a VGA port. Okay, so the VGA segment can be connected to your projector and the HDMI to your laptop. Understand? So this enables the continuation of existing technology without incurring too many costs. Okay, so that's why ports are very important, because they also will ensure the flexibility, the let's say the compatibility of your systems, and also keep them relevant. Okay, because if this port goes completely out of fashion, people stop manufacturing, then the problem is that it becomes obsolete. Okay, and to replace that system according to the demands of newly emerging technology incurs huge costs, which makes that technology unviable. See, it's not like, people will, throw away their existing projectors because an HDMI cable laptop has come. Okay. Most of the time, what they will do is that they will buy something with a VGA cable, which means that this HDMI problem, if it had not been solved, then what would have happened was that the HDMI technology would have suffered a lot. Okay, so for every new technology, there is a period of transition. Okay, then gradually what would happen is that people would stop buying these, VGA port projectors and would go in for the newer models, and gradually the VGA models would not be produced anymore. See, in that case, that way the technology is gently, stopped, they've stopped production, then there will be no problem. Okay, so this is why. So if a new technology is introduced without understanding the need for propagating the old technology, at least for a certain period, then the new technology will suffer a lot. Okay, so that is about the two kinds of ports that we have. Now, next we could go on to USB. Okay. Now, see, I have told you that there are video ports, there are audio ports. Okay. Now, oh, I haven't told you about audio ports. See, audio ports, can connect to your audio systems. Okay, it can connect your speakers. Then there is in the older CPUs, there used to be two outlets for your mouse and your keyboard. Understand? And if you mix them up, then it will not work. Both the ports look the same. They are round in color, but they are color coded. Understand? So if you get the colors wrong, then it becomes a huge problem. Okay, that is, they will not work. That's all. Then you have the HDMI ports. Okay, those are used to connect these HDMI devices to your systems. Okay, yeah, that is about it as far as the ports are concerned. Okay, then we come to USB. Okay, now USB devices are those that help you to store your data. Okay, and carry them around. Portability is the entire key of a portable device, obviously. Okay, yeah. So you have them in various capacities. They initially began as just 512 MB, which I don't know what they would have stored in that, but anyway, people used to be quite excited about it. Then, they went up to 1 GB, then it became 2 GB, then they began coming in these multiples, okay, like 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB, 128 GB. Now you have pen drives that can contain up to 1 TB. Okay, that's like a huge amount. Nearly 1,000 movies, can be connected. I mean, can be collected and stored and transported in a pen drive. Understand? So there are various kinds of USB devices. One is a card flash drive. I don't know if you've seen that. It looks like an ordinary, visiting card. Okay, but at the end of it, there will be this thing that you can slide up, and it just gives you a very flat kind of an interface. Understand? Which you can connect to your system. Okay, so that's a card flash drive. Okay, then you have flash drives that are custom made. For example, they would have the usual interface and everything like that, but then they would be quirky. Okay, they would have your name on it. It would be engraved and that kind of a thing. Okay, then there are security flash drives which run on a system of number lock. Like, for example, you have this, understand, and it would have a number lock on it, a rotating number lock, and unless you open that, it won't slide anything out. Understand? So some of these pen drives, now considering the fact that mobile technology has made so much of an inroad into our lives, what happens is that these pen drives have become dual. Understand? In the sense that they can work on. Can you see this, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, it's visible.
See, this is, first of all, it's a mini USB. Then second thing is that it has this Android compatible one end of it, okay, and the other one is compatible with all your computer systems, okay. So what you can do is that now this leads to greater portability. So on one hand, you can transfer data to your phone or from your phone, and on the other hand, you can take that data and copy it into your computer, or take data from your computer and copy it into your phone. Okay. Now earlier, while the whole world was grateful for this, then what happened is that there came about certain other systems which did not allow this to happen. Okay, that is, yeah, this. Okay, USB type C. This is the solution to that problem, because a lot of mobile phones began to switch from the B type of pins, your charging cables. I hope you have noticed that nowadays your charging cables, many of them don't come at an angle, they come like this, understand, flat, okay, which is more compatible with a number of systems, and it allows for better charging and so on. So this C type, understand, so all the phone cables began to come in C type, which means that this became obsolete for a number of people. Okay, so when you switch from your one phone to another phone, you have to see whether it is using B type or C type. Okay, so this was B, where the output was at a rather angular kind of a thing. Then you have the C type, where it comes out really smooth. Okay, this is also a dual model. It comes out uh, in compatibility with your phone charging cable. Understand? So this is it. Okay. So like I said, one technology has been rendered obsolete because of the charging port of the phone, and now a new technology is in place. Okay. So these have become very, very useful. Okay. These kind of USB systems have become very, very useful. Okay, and also data, which is of great importance these days, has become extremely portable. Okay, there is a great deal of portability that is involved, which makes uh, life on the go extremely easy. Okay, now what has also happened is that, see, I told you earlier that about the transition of technology. Okay, so now what has also happened is that for a number of phones of this sort, there is also something called the OTG cable, on the go. That's what it's called, OTG cable, or on the go, which connects to your phone. Okay, depending on the kind of cable that it has. C type, you can buy a C type. B type, you can buy a B type, no problem. And then see this very pen drive, which has become obsolete now. What happens is that I can use the computer end of it and connect to my phone using an OTG cable. Understand? So this is what I said. Technology, if it has to succeed, has to be sensitive to the earlier technology, that came before it. Otherwise, it is bound to fail, because people, as a rule, will not want to spend too much on a new technology by throwing their old technology away. Okay. Now there is, sorry, we need to go back to the port, segment. I did not mention the Ethernet port. Okay, the Ethernet port looks a lot like the modem or the telephone port. I hope you know that in your CPUs, etc., there is this T-shaped port. Okay, but this one goes for the modem, and the other one is slightly bigger than the modem port. Understand? Now that is used for networking or connecting between the various systems. That is what it is used for. Understand? Yeah. So yeah, that one thing I had forgotten to mention. So these are the different kinds of pen drives or flash drives. Okay, have I left anything out?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, and see, a pen drive, one thing is that how do you distinguish between one and the other is in terms of the read speed that it has. Okay, so see, for example, you have 150 Mbps read speed. Okay, then it's also, about what model it is, 10, is it 3, USB 3.0, all of these are also very, very important factors. Okay, like type C, 10, Those versions are all very important. So the further the number system goes, the better it is for your smoothness of operation. Understand? Otherwise, if you're stuck with some slow transfer rate USB, then you're just going to be there forever. You will not move forward. Okay. Yeah. So remember, in terms of a USB, it is built for portability. It is meant for easy transfer of data. It connects between different devices. And now, in keeping with the latest developments in mobile technology, they're also compatible with mobile phones. And in order to make it easier, a peripheral device has a peripheral device in the form of an OTG cable. Understand? Which can connect your device, your USB device to your phone and help easy transfer of data. Now, while buying an USB, you need to keep in mind the kind of type that it is, whether it's a type B or type C, also the kind of version it is, 8, 10, those kind of things, and also what port of your USB port it is going to be compatible with. Because see, when we're talking about ports again, USB 2.0 is fine. It has normal transfer rates. See, when we say what is a USB port, okay, this is USB. What you have in your system is a USB port. Now, what is the use of that port in the Georgia? It does not simply mean, connecting something to connect your device to your pen drive. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Alone. What it also means is whether it is capable of transferring the data at a reasonable speed. Okay, so nowadays, most laptops come with two USB 3.0 ports and one USB 2.0 ports. Okay, it varies. Okay, so USB 3.0, what is the difference? Both of them look the same. If you connect this pen drive to USB 2.0, it will go in. If you connect it to USB 3.0 port also, it will go in. What is the difference? The difference is in the transfer rate. Okay, the speed with which it is able to transfer data into this device or from this device. See, because today speed is of the essence. Most of us have, well, not very busy lives, so to speak. So maybe we can afford to sit there and look at the data travel slowly like that. But other people are quite busy, which means that they wanted to move fast. I don't know if you've seen in these, spy thrillers and all. Somebody goes and takes the pen drive and opens it, and they connect it to a system, and then they are transferring files at a very instinct, and the tense music is building. The villain is coming towards the office. Now imagine if you were connected to a USB 2.0 port, and your USB is also of a slow rate reading thing. That is the end of your film then and there. Understand? So that's why, okay? Please don't write it in your exam like that. So, any doubts about USB?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, fine. So now we have to talk about your printers, okay? Now, again, that comes under the segment of the input-output devices, which we had already spoken about in the last class, okay? So let's take a look at the kind of printers that are there. See, printers have kind of improved the quality of our lives, okay, by bringing about desktop publishing, DTP. DTP, by making it even more accessible, by making it popular, it has enabled, let's say, businesses to work better. It has enabled individuals to work better. All of these things have become better. See, actually speaking, it is, with the coming of the Windows system, okay, the Windows desktop, okay, and the coming of user-friendly interfaces with Word, Excel, etc. That desktop publishing (DTP) actually became accessible to people. Otherwise, it was very very difficult. Understand? So that was there. Okay. So like I said, printers are the next follow-up. See, people are like, okay. Computers have become smaller, they have landed on our desk. Even imagine the other old cathode ray tube computer. Then they say, fine, we can type stuff. Type it, now where are we going to go? Okay, what do we do with what we have typed? Ergo, the printer. Understand? Now what would happen is that we have to go somewhere, type it, and get them to print it. Then somebody thought, why not take it one step forward and let us print it in the comfort of our own homes? That's how the home printer came about. Okay, so printers are those output devices which are used to prepare permanent, outputs on paper. Okay, so permanent output on paper. See, if you burn the paper, that's a different story, but still. So printers can be divided into two categories. One is what we call impact printers. Okay, now this what happens is that there are hammers or pins that strike against a ribbon to print the text. Okay, then they are again of two types. One is what we call character printer. Now character printer it's a derivative what we call the dot matrix printer. Okay, the one that comes in the form of these bank statements and all, right? They have small dots make up this entire thing. So dot matrix printer, it prints as a combination of dots. Okay, the characters are printed as a combination of dots. Like imagine the clock, digital clocks, right? They're what is it made of? They are made of various numbers. Okay, essentially 4 8s, 8, 8, 8, 8. The select number of bars from each of this is when they form numbers. When you put those bars back, they form other numbers. Right, so that is how it is. Dot matrix printers, they are very popular among these among the serial printers. Okay, and then you have the laser printer. Okay, now laser printer, those come under the non-impact printers. Okay, so impact printer, you have dot matrix printer. In the non-impact this thing, you have you have inkjet printer and laser printer. Okay, now inkjet printers are slower than laser printers, as the name itself would suggest, because inkjet printers, they form their printing ink on the paper from a nozzle or a jet. Okay, just does that kind of a thing, and so this takes a bit of time. Okay, but laser printers, on the other hand, they expose the drum to light. They entire pages of it can just come out. They are faster, they are sharper. Okay, and they are way more convenient. Therefore, they are more expensive also. Okay, so when the choice comes between a laser printer and an inkjet printer, you have to see how far your printing needs go. If you just need about 5 or 6 prints in a month, or let's say okay, even 20 prints in a month, it is better to go in for an inkjet printer. But if you have very varied printing needs, and you have to go for pages at a time, it is better to go for the laser printer. Okay, because laser printers are economical in that aspect. See, they may be expensive, but these are more economical. Okay, right. Then we have scanners. Okay, now again, like I told you, scanners are also those let's say peripherals that have enabled uh, you know individuals to have access to have better access to DTP or desktop publishing facilities. Okay, now scanners are used to, let's say, store information that has already been printed or that is already present in another form. Okay, so it digitizes existing information. Okay, so you have various kinds of scanners. One is the flat bed scanner. It's a very common kind. It's in the form of it's a long kind of a flat bed kind of a thing, and it has a glass pane on the top. Okay, and what happens is you place your stuff and you close the lid, and you'll be able to see a light go like that, and okay, like a scanning machine, of course. Okay, so that kind of a thing is there. Okay, then you have something called a sheet fed scanner. Okay, now sheet fed is where you can feed the document in a horizontal or a vertical slot that is there. You can just feed it in neatly and it will come scanned out. But the problem with this is that you can do it only for single sheet documents. Okay, you can't scan a book because there is it won't be enough space. So this kind of a limitation is there. Understand? And see, earlier I told you in the flat bed scanner, what would happen is the light would be moving like that. But in this case, the light remains constant. It is the paper that is going through. Understand? Yeah. Then you have what we call handheld scanners, which are very, very common these days, even in the form of thermal scanner. Okay. So, those are the things that you see in all these supermarkets and all, where they are, pinging the barcode kind of a thing. Then you also have the pen kind of scanner. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Where you have a book, and what you do is that you just flash this thing very slowly over it, and the entire data is scanned. Nowadays, scanners have become so sophisticated that all of these things that you scan, it can be made into a Word document. You can edit it, and then you can print it out. Understand that character recognition facet is there in most of the scanners these days. Okay, then you have drum scanners. Okay, and these are extremely high resolution scanners, and they are good for things that require detailed scanning. Understand? Maybe even the minutest details can be scanned in that. The other one misses out on the very fine or minor points. So they are good for all these artwork kind of things. Okay, but they are very, very expensive. Okay, so that is a bit of a problem. Photo scanners, see, all scanners can scan photos. Then some scanners nowadays also have this additional function where you click photos, to be scanning photos, and immediately it will scan, it will go into that mode. But there are dedicated photo scanners as well as film scanners. Okay, so you have all those types. Okay, photo scanners are also there, film scanners are also there, which exclusively specialize in scanning photos or in scanning films. Understand? So what happens is that with a film scanner, you can scan these reels onto the computer, and then you can do a number of color enhancement exercises. You can do cropping, you can adjust the ratio, and probably clean up the film a bit. You can do all of those things. Understand? Yes. Then portable scanners, see, that's another thing. Printers are also very portable these days. You have printers about this size or slightly bigger than this. Okay, so there are portable scanners as well as portable printers. Okay, so these all help us bring out the portability factor of our technology, and it makes technology viable. Okay, and it also helps people businesses carry out their works at a very brisk rate. So that's why these scanners and printers are quite convenient. Okay, is this clear to you about the scanners?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm glad to know that. Okay, then yes, when we were talking about ports, we talked about the USB port, and then we talked about the pen drives, correct? So now we are going to be talking about modems. Understand? Now, modems are extremely important, particularly in the world that we live in today. Okay, see, when we look at the mechanics of a modem, it is just a box that connects your devices to the internet using cables. Okay, now it can work independently through a wired connection to your computer or other devices, but it can also be paired with a router, which will then convert an ordinary modem into something into Wi-Fi. Understand? So that way, what used to be connected to a single device now can provide internet support to a number of devices. Like it can provide internet to your system. It can provide it to your phone. It can provide it to your tablet, as the case may be. Understand? So modem and routers. There are also modem router combo devices. Okay, which are called wireless gateways. Okay, now see, earliest modems were those LAN cables which used to take out of your phone landline and connect it into this, and then it would make all those weird noises, like a dog having a throat infection, and then it would connect you to the internet. There would be two small computers blinking at the bottom right hand side of your screen, and then just keep blinking, and when everything is fine, it will stabilize, and then you're like, yes, I can see the internet now. kind of a thing, right? So that kind of a thing is there. So, but from there we have come a long way away now. Okay, we have different kinds of modem. Which are compatible with the kind of internet speeds that we have come to expect from the world today. And if we don't, kind of choose our modem wisely, then it can affect our speed. It can affect the performance, okay, of our internet. Can affect our connectivity as well. Understand? So you have to look at your device and you have to find a system that is compatible to the computer you own and the software that runs the computer that you own. Understand? Yes. So, faster modem speeds are of great help. Okay, that is it. Now, what is the next thing we have? Modem microphones. See, uh, in computer systems, microphones are built in. Okay, most of the what do you call computer systems have microphones built in. When I say most, I mean laptops. Okay, in the desktops that is not the case. You have to connect an external mic. Okay, remember I told you, you have headphone outlets, sorry, headphone port. You have a port for your speakers. You also have a port for your mics. Now, apart from the built-in mic, see for example, I'm talking to you through the built-in mic of my system. Okay. Apart from this, what can also be done is you can buy a headphone with an inbuilt mic. Not all mic headphones come with inbuilt mic. Okay. You can buy this inbuilt mic headphone and connect it to the headphones port in your laptop or in your desktop, and you can use that to communicate. Understand? So that makes that makes it more audible. It makes it clearer, and it also gives you greater flexibility to move back or forth, in terms of vis-a-vis the screen. Okay, it also improves the quality of the conversation that you're having in terms of clarity and so on. So, you also have these days wireless headphones, okay, which are run on Bluetooth technology. So you use your headphones, and you can, they're also microphones. Headphones come microphones, truly wireless, they're called TWS. Have you seen those? Right? iPods are there, AirPods are there, Oppo has that. Almost all, mobile technology companies have diversified into building microphones, and along with that, now the truly wireless has also come about. Okay, so the truly wireless runs on Bluetooth technology. It both is a headphone as well as, or an earphone, as well as a microphone. Okay, so it uses Bluetooth technology to connect to your device, which gives you greater flexibility, and you can move about while you're talking to somebody, and that would not affect the quality of your call whatsoever. Okay, or conversation whatsoever. It is ideal for addressing people on the internet. It is ideal for gaming and so on. Okay, so those are microphones. Okay, then you also have very interesting microphones which are are USB. Okay, they have a USB end, and at the other end they are like a mic. Okay, so you can connect it there and you can speak. You can do that as well. But yeah, those are just quirky things. These are more than sufficient. Okay, then you have speakers. Okay, like microphones, your system, that is your laptops, have inbuilt speakers. Okay, now your desktops may not come with speakers unless there is there are those speakers, your monitors that come with speakers. If that is the case, then that is fine, but otherwise you don't get that kind of a thing. Now speakers are very important peripherals. There are different kinds of speakers. Okay, there are the, like I told you, the built-in speakers. Okay, built-in computer speakers. Okay, then they are functional. Like when you talk to me, I'm hearing you over my built-in speaker. I can hear you quite well. Okay, then you have the headphones which come in with of course earphones. So you can use those buds to hear people, and though that makes the conversation very private. See, if you're using built-in computer speakers, I can hear you you can hear me, but so can everybody else who's sitting around us. Everybody can hear. But headphones make it infinitely more private. Understand? It becomes a one-to-one conversation. It becomes a one-to-one experience. Understand? Where you're listening to music on your system or on your phone or something like that, and only you're listening to it. Understand? Okay. Then you have standalone computer speakers, which suppose you don't like you want better sound, sharper sound kind of a thing. You can buy computer speakers. Some of them have USB outlets, ports, and some of them have the plug kind of a thing. Okay, so buy whichever suits you the best, and you can connect it. And some of them, come like they look really cool. They've got these, LED lights and so on, and you can, well, it all depends. Understand? So next is 2.0 or two computer speakers. Okay, so that is what we have generally seen everywhere. Okay, 2.0 computer speakers are the most common ones. There will be two panels, small panels, they'll be there, volume control and off on, everything will be on that. Then it will connect to the sound port of your laptop or your computer, and there'll be a power button, a power outlet which will connect to the USB port. So you will be employing the USB power segment, as well as you will be using the sound port. Understand? So those are there. They look like pencil boxes. They're quite good, reasonably powerful. Okay, then you have 2.1 computer speakers, which are two computer speakers and one subwoofer. Understand? So that makes a lot of difference. So there'll be like two pencil box shaped things there, and then there'll be one chunky box. Okay, that is a subwoofer for the bass and everything. Okay, now from 2.1 computer speakers, obviously 5.1. 5.1 will be four speakers and one subwoofer. Understand? That is also that makes it for surround sound. When you're watching home theater systems or something. Then you have 7.1 computer speakers. By you would have understood, six speakers and one subwoofer. Okay, that will be like extremely powerful when you're playing games and on computers. You can hear it all the shouting and the yelling and the shooting and everything. That gives you a complete theater experience. And if you put it in various places very, very strategically, it will bring you a very, very surround sound experience. That will be like really cool. Okay, then you have wireless computer speakers, which I told you run on Bluetooth or run on Wi-Fi. Okay, so what they will do is that they will connect with your computer. If it's a Bluetooth speaker, connect with your speaker computer, and it will use that whatever is being sent out will be captured and transmitted. Okay, with the Wi-Fi thing, what will happen is your computer will be relaying stuff to the Wi-Fi, and here this your speaker will also be connected to that. So what will happen is it's a circular process. Understand? So the computer which is connected to the Wi-Fi and your speaker which is connected to the Wi-Fi will then form an interface, and you can do it. Okay, like in printing technology, I did not mention one thing. For printers as well as for scanners, you have Wi-Fi printers and Wi-Fi scanners. Understand? Which again connect to this technology, and whatever you can sit in this room and press print, and the print would have come in another part of the world. I mean, of your room. And not only that, if you know your your ISP, internet service provider's address, each of you have a unique ISP. Okay, and if you take your printing site and you press print, you're in college and your printer is at home, but you know your ISP. What you will do is that you can press print on your laptop in college, and it would be like, cannot find printer, what do I do? Kind of a thing. What you do is that you go to your printing software icon there, and you click on that, and if you enter the ISP of your home, okay, ISP number of your home, what will happen is that your printer, Wi-Fi printer, provided it is switched on, it will print your document. Understand? So look at how far and how well coordinated technology has become. Okay, so you have all of these kinds of speakers. Okay, now depending on your level of ambition, your need, and your pocket, you can buy any of these speakers or don't buy any speaker. No problem. Okay. Then you have the last thing for us here, Bluetooth devices. Understand? Now see, Bluetooth is a very, very interesting concept. Understand? This was when, with one of the practical implications of wireless technology. Okay, now it came about in the 1990s. In 1994 is when the Bluetooth technology actually was conceived. Okay, by somebody called Dr. I suppose it's Yap, but the spelling is J. Okay, JAAPHAARTSEN. Okay, Dr. Yap Hartsen at Ericsson, Sony Ericsson, understand. Now he named it Bluetooth after a Viking king, okay, who united Denmark and Norway in the 10th century. Okay, so it's because he managed to connect these two places. So that's why the technology was also called Bluetooth. Understand? I mean, his name meant Bluetooth. Okay. So it was supposed to replace what we call short range. It kind of replaced the existing technology using short range UHF radio waves. Okay, ultra high frequency radio waves were being employed, and Bluetooth. But on the other hand, see, sometimes we wonder what is the difference between a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The difference is in terms of the range. Okay, Bluetooth has a shorter range. Okay, and it requires less power compared to the Wi-Fi. Okay, yeah. So, but when you're using just Bluetooth alone, it used to require a great deal of battery. Understand? The first phone to use Bluetooth technology was a Sony phone. Okay, obviously, and that came about, but it consumed a great deal of battery. Okay, and at that point of time, Bluetooth, when it came in phones, it was all the rage. Everybody was going on about how now you don't have to send these things. Earlier, it was not possible to send a song or a video clip from one place to another. Understand? It was not. You had to use something called MMS. Okay, multimedia messaging service. But even then, MMSs were not very successful. Okay, because it made heavy data charges. Okay, and the MMS were very limited also. People didn't know what to do. Okay, then came about Bluetooth. Okay, and through Bluetooth, if you are standing close enough, you can send data verbatim, just like that. Okay, as it came, you can do that. So this, you should understand, was the forerunner to a number of file sharing services that came in mobile technology afterwards. Okay, I hope you've heard of F2F, file to file transfer protocols, like torrent and other file sharing systems. Has that been talked to you about?
No, ma'am.
We have heard about that.
Ah, well, if you've heard about it, that is good enough. Understand? So yeah, these kind of file sharing systems. So Bluetooth became a very, very important segment of these file sharing systems. Okay, and you would often see two people standing close to each other. Sometimes they would be standing at this distance, and then they would be like, oh, I am sending you a file via Bluetooth. Immediately, the other person will come like this close, and they will stand nose to nose with each other, holding the phone. Because the idea is, if the phones are closer, it will all transfer faster, kind of a thing. But there was no way of transferring Bluetooth, desktop and your phone. That was not there. But now see, your mobile systems, your computer systems, they're all coming equipped or inbuilt with Bluetooth. Understand? So now, of course, Bluetooth technology has developed so much that you don't have to stand like this. Okay, that's not there. But even now, it is being used for a number of things. Like, for example, I told you about the truly wireless system that uses Bluetooth to connect to your device. Listen, and I remember a time, I remember reading an article in a long time ago about these Mumbai local trains. See, the one thing about Bluetooth technology is that it did not allow privacy of address. It still doesn't allow. Okay, unless you have put in security locks in it. where, for example, I want to send you something by Bluetooth, I want to connect to your phone. So immediately they would be like, such and such a person wants to connect to your phone. To pair with the device, click accept. Okay, if you press decline, then I cannot connect to your phone. Okay, but earlier what would happen was that this kind of taking permission thing was not really there. So people would just get into the Mumbai local trains and press send. This is my number. Call me, and they would just send. You go to different people. Yes, Amula. Okay, never mind. Okay, it would go to different people, and it was a huge irritation. Understand? And some people would call, some people would not call. Then they would send some embarrassing, I don't know, some scandalous pictures of themselves over Bluetooth, and try to harass women because they don't know whether these pictures are going to men or women. All these people would have their Bluetooth on, or they would be sharing devices, files over devices. Suddenly somebody will jump in and say, "Here is my picture." Understand? So this used to happen, but all said and done, what has happened is that thanks to this kind of mobility of technology, newer devices have and newer technologies have found a home. They have found a way of propagating, and this has made our life much easier. See, today, whatever there is, documents, photos, videos, even films for that matter, we are able to share them over device, over platforms such as WhatsApp or Telegram, or through the cloud and so on. So these initial technologies have enabled or made these things possible. Okay. Nowadays, in terms of printer, see, we are talking about printer, we are talking about scanner, but nowadays there are devices that are printer, copy, and scanner combined. In fact, there are also photo printers if you put in photo paper. Understand? So these, multi-use devices are also there. So things have become more complicated, at the same time more convenient to use. Okay, so you have a printer, copy, and scanner, which is a Wi-Fi device. Okay, so you can think of n number of different combinations in which these things occur, and you have them there. Understand? Yeah. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No,
Clear.
ma'am.
Everything is painfully clear. Okay. So I will stop recording for the time being.